Okay, so I introduced just a little bit of this in the last section. We're looking at Chapter 2, Section 2, Solving Inequalities Using Addition and Subtraction. And so just keep a reminder if we have greater than or less than, or excuse me, greater than or equal to and less than or equal to, when we graph, we're going to use closed circles. And then greater than and less than, when we graph, we're going to use open circles because we will be graphing these on a number line as well. So just basic. If we've got 8 plus x is greater than or equal to negative 6. My x is on the left-hand side. It's where I want it to be, so I'm going to move that 8 by subtracting 8 from both sides. So then I end up with x is greater than or equal to negative 14. And on a number line, I'm going to go with 14 and negative 14. In this case, it is greater than or equal to, so that is a closed circle above negative 14. And that is an arrow greater than to the right. There's a couple of modifications or some things that they might put in there. They might go with an example like this. And so the first thing I would suggest is to rewrite the double negative, to rewrite it as x plus 14 is greater than 4. Then I could subtract 14 from both sides, and that's going to give me x is greater than negative 10. And so if I put that on a number line, I've got my 0 in the middle, I've got my 10, negative 10, and because we have just greater than, that's going to be an open circle. And that open circle on the outside, and I'm going to go greater than, which will again be to the right. We might also have some, again, order doesn't matter. We may have a plus minus. And so I'm going to get rid of that plus minus first. And from this point, I'm going to go ahead and rewrite and get my x minus 3 on the left-hand side. And then adding 3 to both sides. So that gives me a final answer of x is less than or equal to 17. And so if I get that on a number line, again, number lines will all start to be looking the same here after a while. Just put that 0 in the middle, put that 17 there, put that negative 17 there, and we've got less than or equal to, so we're going closed circle above 17, and that is a less than, so we're going to go arrow to the left. Now, they could have some different, some variations, such as well, let's see, will they go, yeah, probably not going to go that far yet. Let's put a 3x. And so what we learned in the last chapter is anything that's on the same side, we can go ahead and combine those like terms. And so I'm going to take my 4x and my 3x, because they are like terms, and put those together. And that gives me just x plus 6. And then we're back to just our standard equation. Now, some of you might ask, Are they going to do anything any further? They won't do anything more than 1x in this section because that'll be division. That'll be division for the next section. And so still the same thing, subtracting 6. And so we end up with x is greater than or equal to 6. And so when we bring that on our number line again, we're going to have a closed circle above 6. And in this case, because it's greater than, we're going to the right. So they're not going to give us anything more than a single x there. It might be 5x minus 4x. It might be 6x minus 5x. Could be anything like that, but anything more than that we're going to get to in the next section. And so that'll be our multiplication and division section that will come in the next cast. They might actually take something something in words and make you create it and solve it. Maybe something like a number plus -6 is less than 12. So they would want you to actually create the inequality equation and solve it. So I would have a number. I can let it be anything. I'm going to let it be n in this case, just to stand for a number, plus a -6 is less than 12. So that's going to be n minus 6 is less than 12. Adding 6 to both sides. And that gives me n is less than 18. And so because it's less than, that would be -18, excuse me. So since it's less than, that's going to be an open circle above the 18 and an arrow to the left. And that is Chapter 2, Section 2, Solving Inequalities Using Addition or Subtraction.